Welcome back, YouTube. I'm like on a total apricot and pistachio tear. This week, we're gonna make apricot pistachio sticky buns.
There's nothing left to say.
Welcome back to another episode of Baking Outside the Lines with me, Lani Halliday. I adapted this recipe from a King Arthur flour recipe. I utilized the Changsong method. I hope I said that right. I think I said that right. I researched it, I listened. I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's basically a method of using a water roux, a kind of pre-party on getting some starches gelatinized so you can get a little bit more liquid and a little bit more body and a little bit more softness and moisture inside of your dough. We're gonna utilize that method today. I'm gonna show you all about how to do that. We're gonna get started with this water roux. I've got my induction burner, a pot, and a whisk to get started. Oh, I need a thermometer. I'm gonna grab, hey camera guy.
5 minutes later.
I took a portion of the flour and a portion of the milk and I'm gonna make a water roux. This is something you're gonna wanna stick with. You don't wanna walk away. It's like, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. You gotta stay with it. In this pot is gonna go a portion of the flour and a portion of the milk. So just pop it right in. Give it a whisk to stir it, just to get it mixed. And then turn your heat on. You have to stay with it. So it starts looking like this, very liquidy. See, it's starting to change. It's getting a little thicker. It's still lumpy and it's about 153 degrees. We're gonna keep going. So you can see it's starting to get pastier, like more stringy, pastier. It's hotter. I feel like we're not quite ready. My arm is like killing me. We're at 185. That's like way hot. That's definitely what we need. This is like our water roux. We've captured some of the ingredients. We've pre-gelatinized the starches. We're gonna pop it all in our mixer and then we're just gonna keep adding all these things to get our dough going. You definitely wanna scrape down everything. Get it all in your mixer. Paddle attachment, paddle attachment, paddle attachment. Start on low and then move up. I have to sift this flour. Drum sieve, bowl, flour. Just run it through here. Run it up, run it up, run it up. We wanna take this off, so it's just gonna go right in here. Here's a little trick. I held it like a little funnel, so when all the flour came in, it didn't fall out the sides because I made a little dam with my hands. Action. All baked goods, all baked goods need salt, all of them. Xanthan gum. This says xanthan gum, but it's actually yeast. Let me just consult my recipe. Even professionals, sometimes you gotta consult your recipe. Measure twice, cut once, they say. Oh yeah, we're doing great. Rapeseed oil, oat milk. Last but not least, 2 eggs. Always separate your eggs, for sure. My tip and trick that I've learned over the years of cracking a billion eggs is if you crack it on a flat surface, it'll really help not get shell into your eggs. So I always crack it on a flat surface. Oh my God. Put that in there. I'm just gonna get this incorporated, then I'm gonna stop, scrape everything down, and then really develop the structure by letting the mixer go on medium speed for about 3 minutes. All right. Woo, girl. This is the dough. God, it's so nice. It's nice and smooth. It really does need that like few minutes to kind of like do its thing. The water roux method really does make a difference. The Shangzong method, that's a nice dough ball right there, honey. God, it's not smack it.
Later that same evening.
I'm gonna let it rest and rise, covered in this bowl for about an hour and a half in a warm spot. I'll probably put it on top of the oven. And then we're gonna roll it out, fill it, bake it off, sticky buns. While the dough is rising, I'm gonna make the filling and the topping. We're gonna put a pistachio apricot filling inside of the dough, and then we're gonna make like a sugary top to go in the bottom of the pan. The buns are gonna go on top, and when we flip it, when it's hot, when it first comes out of the oven, we're gonna lift the pan, and then all the like sticky buns, that's how they get sticky, that's how they're sticky buns. We've got our apricots and toasted pistachios, finely chopped up. That goes in this bowl. Some cardamom and some cinnamon, some sugar, white sugar. The last thing I have is molasses. I'm actually just going to mix this first, then I'm gonna just add my molasses. Whenever I measure out molasses, I spray my vessel that I hold my molasses or honey or agave or anything sort of sticky liquid with pan spray so that it doesn't stick. I'm trying not to get the molasses stuck on the side of the bowl, so I'm kind of just like using the sugar to kind of like encapsulate the sticky brown liquid. And I'm actually just gonna get in there with my favorite kitchen tool, my hands. I feel like I didn't put any salt in here yet. And even if I did, a little extra is not gonna hurt. So I'm just gonna put a generous pinch of salt inside of this. I'm rubbing like you would rub in butter to pie dough. And that's it, that's the filling, good to go. The next thing I wanna make is the sticky topping that's gonna go inside the bottom of the pan. So I've got my toasted whole pistachios here. I'm gonna try to essentially quarter them. I'm just gonna kind of chop, 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 chop. I don't wanna make these too fine. I'm gonna go in this bowl. Apricots. I'm gonna need a bowl for this. I'm gonna need this bowl for this. So here. The thing I have here is actually my replacement for brown sugar. It was meant to be brown sugar and butter. My replacements are this, molasses, white sugar, we've got the nuts and the fruit. That can go in here. And instead of butter, I've substituted vegetable shortening, all natural vegetable shortening, and a little bit of oat milk. Butter is not pure fat, it's about 16 to 18% water or liquid. And when I've made my substitution, I've taken my amount of butter that I'd like to replace, figured out how much 18% of that would be, and just replace that with oat milk. And that's gonna just go in here, bake it up. Oh, and I didn't put salt. What is the matter with me? Say about teaspoon of salt. Salt makes flavors pop, so this is looking good. There's a couple little chunks in here, but I'm not super pressed about it. I'm gonna mix all these things together. This is like a lot of topping. These are gonna be so like gooey and luscious for sure. These are gonna be luscious. Just going for an even layer all around the bottom, which is eventually gonna get inverted and be the top of our sticky bunch. So let's set that aside and we'll roll out our dough. So it's had a chance to rise. It's been a little while.
Oh, yes, honey.
We're gonna turn her out onto a piece of parchment. We're gonna fill her and we're gonna stuff her and it's gonna be lush. Definitely wanna use some spray. Best thing to do is wet hands. It's a little sticky, you don't want it sticking to you. Yeah, buddy. You wanna get it into a rectangle shape that's like pretty level. We can start that process with our hands. Yeah. You can spray your rolling pin. But I'm gonna let the weight of this do the work for me, and I'm gonna just try to finesse it into the shape I wanna go as I go along. It's gluten-free. It's much more delicate than glutinous dough. So you definitely wanna take care. You don't want all that work to go to waste. Keep finessing. It's like how I got my man. Keep finessing. You want this to be a rectangle that's about 10 by 12. So I'm gonna leave a little strip like this. I'm gonna put the filling all here, but I'm gonna leave a little tiny bit. You can mark it with your ruler like this. This is our sandy little filling. I'm really just gonna get this going onto here. We're gonna utilize our parchment paper to be our friend. We're just gonna start. Okay. Now, I'm gonna cut this into 8 equal parts. And then we don't want to waste this. Put this all, just sprinkle it. I'm gonna cover this. I'm gonna let it rise in a warm place for another hour, hour and a half. They're gonna get nice and poofy in this dish. Then we're gonna bake them off and we're gonna have luscious, luscious sticky buns. The sticky buns have been in their little pan rising for about hour and 15, hour 20 minutes.
Oh, they're in their little hidey hole.
Ooh. Look, they're all nice and poofy. They look really perfect. I'm just going to pop the oven back on and just pop them in. 20, 25 minutes and these should be luscious. Luscious. They've been in the oven for about 25 minutes. They're looking bubbly and golden brown all over the top. It's time to take them out. Oh my good God, this is like so dangerous. This is bakery napalm. It's bubbling over. It's like boiling super hot. It smells amazing. It smells like buttery and caramely and delicious. So the thing that we really want to make sure we do is turn this out while it's still hot so that none of the sticky actually sticks the buns to the pan. So we just need to turn it out and let all that delicious sticky stuff that we made on the bottom run over the top of these buns. Oh, oh my goodness. Look at them. It's cooled down. Look at, I'm gonna pull this all apart so you can see.
Oh my good God.
It's still kind of hot. I'm gonna eat this. It's caramely, it's tender. Like, subscribe, comment below, all the links, all below. Thank you.